Hello, guys. Welcome back. So it's been a while, and this week I'm going to do a review for the week starting Monday 22nd through 26th, Friday, January 2024. This is weekly Forex review or forecast. Now, for this upcoming week, this past week has been a very interesting one. We saw the dollar index moving to the upside impulsively. Last week, though I didn't post that here on this chat, but last week my analysis, while price was here, my analysis was that price was coming up to this other block. Remember, I always say another block is a change in the state of delivery. So price was gravitating towards this other block, and yes, we treated that nicely. Here's the open of the other block, but we dug deep up at least to the halfway of it. Yeah. Now this coming weeks, the objective has been met already. When we drop down to lower time frame, you'd see that the objective of this candle coming up has been met already. So this week, I would expect lower prices. Why? Why lower prices? Let me quickly go down to a daily time frame on the dollar index. So on the daily time frame, remember, I would always tell you that price will always seek out for inefficiencies and liquidity. Inefficiencies and liquidity. We have been seeing lower prices on dollar on the daily time frame, lower prices. But at this point, we saw some retracement. Where's it retracing to? Right, retracing to this fair value gap. For those who are new, a fair value gap is when we have three consecutive candles and the second candle has a gap because of the gap that was created between the first and the third candle. What does this mean? We have candles 1, candles 2, and candles 3. Let me zoom in with you. Candles 1, candles 2, candles 3. Now look at the wick, the lower wick of candle 1, and look at the higher wick of candles 3. They do not overlap with each other. They do not overlap, which leaves a gap rather between this here and here. And this gap is what we call fair value gap. Price will most times, in most cases, refer back to this place. And that's what we've seen here. See how price has come back to the fair value gap that was created. This is a daily fair value gap, so it's very strong. Yeah. So price, we call this a type of inefficiency. Yeah, fair value gap. FVG, fair value gap on the daily time frame. That's why in this bracket. So price has come back to the fair value gap. Yes, we can see the wicks overlapping outside the fair value gap. These are like mohawks. Yeah, it's just like when you have a mower, uh, you're using the mower on your grasses in your field, you'd see some overlap. Like mower will be overlapping the places that you've um, used the mower on before. So these mohawks are permissible when it comes to fair value gap. These wicks are like those mohawks. Yeah. Look at the bodies. The bodies respect the fair value gap perfectly. But the wicks do the damage. Yeah, they don't want you to see that. But I'm showing you that. So for next week, I'm expecting price to open rally up a bit. Let's say form a wick and then move to the downside on our daily time frame. Coincidentally, you might say, the other block we have on our weekly time frame resides on the middle of this fair value gap. Yeah. And this is an order block open for the weekly time frame, and yes, here it is, order block, three consecutive up close candles make up this order block. So next week for the dollar index, I'll be expecting lower prices based on this analysis. The next pair we want to check out is euro dollar. Yeah, euro dollar. So remember, we said we'll be expecting lower prices for the dollar index. For the euro dollar, same thing. Last week, I expected this lower move, though I was expecting this to dig a bit deeper into this fair value gap and close at the fair value gap. Although this is a daily fair value gap, yes, but we dug deeper and it dug deep into this order block. These two consecutive candles, they form our weekly order block for the weekly time frame. So yeah, that's why I was expecting lower prices last week. But this coming week, let's see what we should be expecting. I would actually be expecting higher prices. Now, for two reasons. Number one, euro dollar would always do the opposite of what dollar index is doing. Number two, euro dollar on its own has also traded into a particular PD area, which is an order block for the weekly time frame. Now, I want to confirm further on our daily time frame and see what happens. For our daily time frame, like I said, I will be expecting higher prices. Why? For daily time frame, we have a fair value gap, just like we did on dollar index. We have a fair value gap. In this case, the reverse is the case. We have candles 1, candles 2, candles 3. Look at the first candle. Look at the high of the candle formed by this wick. Candle stopped there. And then the second candle, we had an impulse move and it closed here. Then we had the third candle. This is the low of the third candle. Look at the low of the third candle and the high of the first candle. There is a space, there is a gap here. This is what we call fair value gap. And because this is on a daily time frame, it is fair value gap daily. Now, like I said last week, I think price was somewhere around here. I was expecting price to come down and it did. I was actually expecting price to dig deeper into this range. Why? Because this is the low of the fair value gap. But we see, like we see here, price did not come digging deep to the end of the fair value gap. The wicks stopped at the middle of the fair value gap and reversed. This, in most cases, signifies heavy bullishness. So next week we might see heavy candles moving to the upside. It is still possible that price will come down to try to fill this fair value gap, but I wouldn't like to see that. I'll prefer um, higher moves, bullish moves next week on the euro dollar. For um, pound dollar, let me start with weekly time frame. Going by what I would see dollar index do, I would likely say pound dollar would be going to the upside. But from the price action I'm seeing here, pound dollar has been in some form of range consolidation over the past few weeks on our weekly range. Yeah. So I'll quickly go down to the daily range and see if we can get some scraps out of it. But for me, I wouldn't even touch this at all. Yeah. This is December 14th. From December 14th, in fact, from the whole of December, from here, the whole of end of November down to this point, price has been in a particular range. So I wouldn't touch this at all. But if I want to go by what the dollar index is doing, I would prefer higher prices on pound dollar. Yeah, for me, when you go down in lower time frame, you can definitely scalp, get some intraday price action in this. But on a higher time frame basis, this is a whole range. So what are you going to do with this information? For the fact that I'm expecting bearish moves for um, the dollar index this coming week, it means bullishness for every other pair that is used as a quote currency for dollar. For example, euro, dollar, euro is the quote currency, GBP dollar, GBP is the quote currency. Sorry, GP is the base currency, euro dollar, euro is the base currency. So currencies like that or pairs like that will expect higher bullish prices, while on dollar we'll be expecting lower prices. and you definitely see this on news releases. Most times the news will favor where prices will go for the week. I hope this was really helpful, and if you think this video um, was helpful, if you think you found value in this, I'd like you to leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe so that you get more videos like this in the near future. And until I talk to you next time, I wish you good luck and good trading.